Welcome to News Edge, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. Just when it seemed like global politics was finally finding its footing, a new shockwave has rippled across the world stage, catching even the most seasoned diplomats off guard. In a move that has left international markets reeling, China has announced a staggering 125% tariff on a broad spectrum of American goods, sending a clear and forceful message to Washington and beyond. This isn't just a minor adjustment or a symbolic gesture, it's a seismic economic counterpunch. The announcement has sent shockwaves through financial centers from New York to London to Shanghai, shaking investor confidence and leaving world leaders scrambling to respond. Former President Trump, who famously ignited the trade war with his own tariffs, is reportedly stunned by the sheer scale and precision of China's retaliation. Even his closest advisors admit they didn't see this coming. The new tariffs are laser-focused on some of America's most vital exports, with electric vehicles taking the hardest hit. This is a direct blow to one of the US's fastest-growing and most promising industries, threatening to derail years of investment and innovation. China's message is unmistakable. If you build trade walls, we'll build them even higher. The era of tit-for-tat escalation is here, and neither side seems willing to back down. The immediate fallout has been brutal. Stock futures for major US companies are already plunging, with investors bracing for more turbulence in the days ahead. The timing of China's move is no accident. It comes just as the US is ramping up efforts to boost domestic manufacturing and lead the world in green technology. Now those ambitions face a major roadblock. By targeting electric vehicles, China isn't just hitting an industry, it's undermining a core American ambition. The US dream of dominating the global EV market is suddenly in jeopardy, as China cripples a key competitor before it can truly take off. What was once a symbol of American innovation and technological leadership has now become a major vulnerability. The EV sector, once a beacon of hope, is now at the center of a global economic storm. But this crisis isn't just about politicians or corporate profits. The ripple effects will be felt by ordinary people everywhere. Prices for cars and other goods are set to rise, jobs in manufacturing are suddenly at risk, and consumers will soon find their choices shrinking as companies struggle to adapt to the new reality. This is more than just another headline or a blip in the news cycle. It's a pivotal turning point, one that could reshape the global economy for years, if not decades to come. Around the world, governments, businesses, and everyday people are holding their breath, anxiously waiting to see how the United States will respond to this unprecedented escalation. The trade war has entered a new, unpredictable phase. The stakes have never been higher, and with both sides digging in, the end is nowhere in sight. The world watches, knowing that what happens next could change everything. To understand today's shock, let's rewind. The US-China trade war began under President Trump, who accused China of unfair practices and slapped tariffs on Chinese goods to protect American jobs. China hit back, targeting American exports like soybeans and pork, sparking a tit-for-tat tariff battle. When President Biden took office, hopes for a truce faded, most tariffs stayed, and new ones targeted high-tech sectors like EVs and semiconductors. What started as a Trump policy became a bipartisan strategy, keeping the trade war simmering. Businesses faced skyrocketing costs, some moved factories, others passed costs to consumers. The dream of seamless global trade was replaced by a fragmented, uncertain reality. Tariffs meant to protect the US economy ended up creating new problems. Now, with China's massive escalation, the conflict has reached a new, dangerous level. The stage is set for even more disruption. This is how we arrived at today's crisis. Tariffs are taxes on imported goods. Think of them as a cover charge for products entering the country. Whenever something is shipped from overseas, like electronics, clothes, or toys, the government can decide to add an extra fee before it's allowed in. This fee is called a tariff, and it's meant to make foreign products more expensive compared to those made at home. For example, if a $10 toy from China faces a 25% tariff, it now costs $12.50 in the US, and you, the shopper, end up paying that extra $2.50. It's not the foreign company or the store that covers the cost, it's you at the checkout. The main goal of tariffs is to make imports pricier, so you'll be more likely to buy American-made products instead. By raising the price of foreign goods, the government hopes to give local businesses a better chance to compete. But here's the catch. If there's no US alternative, or if American-made options are limited, you're just stuck with higher prices and fewer choices. Sometimes you have no option but to pay more. Tariffs act like a hidden tax on everyday people, raising costs on everything from sneakers to smartphones, kitchen appliances, and even some groceries. The impact is felt across a wide range of products you use daily. They also hit American companies that rely on foreign parts and materials, making it more expensive to build products here at home. This can slow down production and even threaten jobs in U.S. factories. Those extra costs don't just disappear. They get passed on to you, the consumer, in the form of higher prices at the store, whether you notice it or not. So, a policy meant to help U.S. industry can end up hurting both companies and families. Small businesses, workers, and everyday shoppers all feel the squeeze. You may not see the word tariff printed on your receipt, but you'll definitely feel it in your wallet when you pay more for the same things. Tariffs ripple through the entire economy, raising prices, limiting choices, and sometimes even causing shortages of popular products. That's why this trade war matters to everyone, not just businesses or politicians, but to every family, worker, and shopper across the country. China's new 125% tariff is putting immense pressure on American automakers, especially Tesla, which has long relied on its strong presence in the Chinese market to fuel its global ambitions. This steep tariff is more than just a number. It's a game changer for how U.S. car companies do business in the world's largest auto market. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory once gave it a huge edge in China, allowing it to produce cars locally and avoid many import taxes. But now, any US-made parts or components shipped to China face a crushing tax, making production far more expensive and complicated. To survive, Tesla must either source more parts from local Chinese suppliers or raise prices for its vehicles, which could make it much less competitive against fast-growing Chinese brands that already dominate the market. China's move is a direct hit on a major US player, turning what was once Tesla's dream of dominating the Chinese electric vehicle market into a potential nightmare of shrinking sales and lost opportunities. Meanwhile, Chinese automaker BYD, one of Tesla's fiercest rivals, is locked out of the US by American tariffs. Despite its rapid innovation and global ambitions, BYD is unable to compete in the lucrative American market. The result? Both sides are building higher and higher walls, forcing companies to focus on their home turf and limiting the free flow of technology, talent, and products across borders. American automakers now risk losing access to China's booming market of eager car buyers, while Chinese brands are effectively blocked from making inroads into the US, stifling competition and innovation. The ongoing trade war is dividing the global auto industry, with companies like Tesla and BYD caught in the crossfire, unable to fully realize their international ambitions. Instead of a vibrant, competitive global marketplace, we're witnessing a new era of economic isolation, where collaboration is replaced by suspicion and opportunity gives way to uncertainty. The stakes for both sides have never been higher. Billions of dollars, thousands of jobs, and the future of the global auto industry hang in the balance as this economic standoff intensifies. The auto industry is now ground zero in this escalating economic battle, with every new tariff and policy change sending shockwaves through boardrooms and factory floors on both sides of the Pacific. Thinking about buying an electric vehicle? Brace yourself. Prices are about to climb. China's new tariff makes essential EV components pricier, and automakers will pass those costs to you. The government's push for affordable green cars is being undercut by this trade war. Fewer choices, higher prices, and stalled innovation are the new reality. US tariffs keep affordable Chinese EVs out, while China's retaliation squeezes American companies. The result? A protected, less competitive market that moves slower and costs more. The American EV dream is on hold, caught in the crossfire of global politics. For consumers, that means paying more for less. Ever wonder why you don't see Chinese EVs like BYD or NIO on US roads? It's all about tariffs. US taxes on Chinese cars can double their price, making them unaffordable here. These barriers were built to protect American automakers from a flood of cheap, high-quality Chinese EVs. Even Elon Musk admits Chinese brands could outcompete most global car makers if allowed in. The downside? American consumers lose out on affordable, innovative options. Without competition, US automakers feel less pressure to lower prices or improve quality. Meanwhile, Chinese EVs are thriving in Europe, Asia, and Latin America. Americans are left watching the world enjoy better, cheaper cars. Trade barriers protect jobs, but they also limit your choices and raise costs. The US market is less competitive, and consumers pay the price. That's the hidden cost of this trade war. Locked out of the US, Chinese EV makers aren't waiting around, they're conquering the rest of the world. BYD, Geely, and others are expanding fast in Europe, Southeast Asia, and Latin America, building factories and selling cars at every price point. Their global reach is growing and they're achieving massive economies of scale. The US may feel protected, but it's isolating itself from the next wave of automotive innovation. American automakers now face fierce competition everywhere except at home. As Chinese brands get stronger, their cars will only get better. The US might win the battle to keep Chinese EVs out, but risks losing the global war for auto dominance. The world is moving on, and America could be left behind. This trade war isn't just politics, it's hitting real people and businesses. American EV factories rely on global supply chains, especially for high-tech parts from China. With new tariffs, those parts get expensive fast, forcing factories to slow production or lay off workers. Companies scramble for new suppliers, but shifting supply chains takes time and money. Production delays mean higher prices and fewer cars on the lot. The ripple effect, you pay more or wait longer for the car you want. If American products get too pricey, demand drops, slowing the whole economy. Other countries caught in the crossfire see their own supply chains disrupted. A trade war between giants spreads instability worldwide. The impact goes far beyond Washington and Beijing. Everyone, everywhere feels the shockwaves. We're at a crossroads: escalate or negotiate. More tariffs mean higher prices, fewer choices, and a divided world economy. The alternative? Diplomacy. Addressing core issues through dialogue, not punishment. It's tough, but a negotiated peace is the only way to restore stability. The choices made in Washington and Beijing will shape the future for everyone. Will leaders double down on conflict or find a way out? The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher.